Hello everybody, I am Jarrett Ross, the GeneaVlogger, and on today's video we will be discussing some big updates coming to family tree DNA. Now the first big update is one that apparently has already started, and that is the transition to next generation sequencing, or what's often known as NGS sequencing. Whereas the type of sequencing they did in the past was using what's often known as SNP microarrays. They did the transition to NGS testing earlier this year in March, so a lot of people have already had their tests sequenced using the NGS sequencing. Now, this is not whole genome sequencing, which is what MyHeritage is transitioning to, but it's very similar in that there's a lot more coverage, but most especially similar in how they're reading and sequencing the DNA. And the biggest difference between what they're doing for family tree DNA and what they're doing at MyHeritage is that they are not testing the entire genome. So for MyHeritage, they said that they're testing the whole genome, which is 3.3 or so billion base pairs. Instead, family tree DNA is doing what's known as targeted sequencing. So they are targeting different parts of the genome to sequence because those are the parts of the genome that tie most closely to identifying family ties. But they are testing a lot more data. So on the screenshot that they sent me, it says 400x coverage than what the SNP microarray gave, which tested about 700,000 markers or so. So if it's 400 times more testing, then they're going to be testing about 280 million markers, which is a whole lot. But remember, 3.3 billion markers is what makes up the entire genome. So they're still only testing a portion of it. But even more importantly, MyHeritage only does 2x coverage when they do their read-through of the genome. With the targeted testing that family tree DNA is doing, they're calling it high coverage. And when they say high coverage, I'm guessing that they're talking about that they're not doing a 2x read, they're probably doing a 30x read or a 50x read or maybe even a 100x read. And that just means how many times they're going through and trying to read and sequence the DNA. And even with that explanation, that's a huge oversimplification because there's a lot more to it than just that. But the main thing you can get out of this is knowing that a high coverage means a higher confidence in what they're reading is the proper reading and not a false positive or a false negative. And for anybody that's already tested at family tree DNA before the transition to NGS, and even anyone who transferred their DNA from other DNA websites, they're going to have an upgrade option available soon. They haven't announced exactly when. I think they basically said before the end of 2026. But that upgrade option is going to be available for both people that have tested through family tree DNA and for people who've transferred to family tree DNA. It seems like most people that do the upgrade will likely have to redo the test and basically get a sample kit sent where they're going to have to send it back, but they're only going to have to pay the upgrade price to do it. But I believe that some people may be able to just pay the price and then get the upgrade, but it may depend on when you test it. But with this update, there's not really anything new that you're going to see, at least for a while, because it's going to take some time for them to be able to interpret the data from the NGS testers to then start being able to utilize that to give you better results and create new tools. But even though there isn't anything that you will be able to see now, it does look like they already have some new tools that they're ready to roll out at some point. And they gave a little bit of a sneak preview in a webinar that was recently given to the International Institute of Genealogical Studies. And I'm going to show this on screen. It's a very interesting image. I've never seen any tool that looks like this necessarily, but it does look like multiple things combined together. For one, it looks like a circle chart version of a family tree, but it's utilizing some form of clustering as well as grouping. So I'm really excited to see what they might have coming out in the near future. And the way that it was described in the webinar was that they were going to release these tools in a similar format that they've done the Discover tools for the mitochondrial and for the Big Y, which give you some really cool tools that help you to interpret the actual data. And these Discover tools are kind of what I'm calling the second update, and I don't know if they've been developed specifically with the NGS update or if they were developed aside from that. But I think it's great to see that they are developing new tools, because one of the things that they've been really lackluster with is having good tools for their DNA kits. And they've been around for a long time, and Family Tree DNA is where I first tested. And they have a lot of things that really set them apart, especially the X chromosome comparison and actually being able to look at your match list with X chromosome data. But for a long time, I've been wanting a lot more tools. And this tool isn't just something that they've taken from another site and kind of rehashed for their own, which is a very common thing. We've seen, that happening with clusters. All the sites like Ancestry and 23andMe took the auto cluster idea and then developed it into their own version of a clustering tool. But here it looks like Family Tree DNA is creating something completely different. And I think having something completely different is probably one of the best options, because being able to look at the data in a whole new way can really make certain things stand out that didn't before, and that could lead to big discoveries. But one of the other places that Family Tree DNA has really fallen behind pretty much all of the websites except 23andMe is their ability to manage a lot of kits. Now, the way it works now is that when you tested Family Tree DNA, you were given a kit number, and that's how you log in, by kit number. So if you have a whole bunch of family members who've tested, you have to log in and log out to check each one. Whereas on a lot of other sites, you just manage multiple kits. Well, they are finally upgrading, and that is the third update, that they're going to be switching from kit-based login to username-based login. So you'll have a username where you can log in and manage multiple kits. Now, for people like myself who do a lot of genetic genealogy, this is a serious game changer, because being able to just check a whole bunch of different kits at once without logging in, logging out is going to make the workflow so much easier. And from the screenshot they gave, it looks like we're going to have options on levels that we can set people to see the kits. So you can add people as viewers or collaborators, and I guess possibly you might be able to transfer ownership as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, while this isn't the biggest update in a sense, to me, it's a huge update and really pushes Family Tree DNA way higher than they are at the moment. And I think this is especially important for a lot of us who do Family Tree DNA kits that are Y-DNA kits and mitochondrial DNA kits, because for many of you who follow my channel, you know that I'm doing a project where I'm trying to identify all of the haplogroups of all of my great-grandparents. And to do that, I don't just want the haplogroups necessarily. I actually want them to test at Family Tree DNA so I can do the matching as well. So I've actually been having a lot of my cousins doing tests at Family Tree DNA. We did probably 4 or 5 different tests for my family members just this year. And it's a lot to go from each kit, where this is going to make it where I can flow a lot better between the kits. And it's probably going to improve my ability to do actual research. Plus, for people like myself who take clients, it's going to make it a lot easier to have our clients sharing the data, because it's really, really annoying having to keep a list of login data and passwords for, the many clients that I have. But I'm curious what you all think. Are you excited for these updates? Do you think that these are going to be something that's really going to help you improve your research, or do you just see it as another update that really isn't going to help much at all? And if you'd like to learn more about this project I'm doing to identify all my great-grandparents' haplogroups, be sure to check out the video right here. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, Please be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos of mine just like this. And thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members.